welcome to your custom deep dive. Today we have, well, a pretty fascinating stack of theological reflections on 1 Corinthians 11.
Yeah, we are really digging into the profound significance and the structure of the Lord's Supper.
Right, so imagine you're sitting in a church pew, passing a tray of communion bread, but taking it with the wrong mindset could literally make you physically ill.
Or even worse, honestly. That is exactly the high stakes that the Apostle Paul lays out here.
It is intense. Modern church rituals usually have this very set rhythm. You do the Apostles' Creed, sing some hymns, take the bread, take the cup. Okay, let's unpack this. Why does a meal of grace have such terrifying warning labels?
Well, to get the warning, we first have to understand the ritual's uncompromising structure. The bread is broken, and then the cup is taken.
So is that sequence just like an old church recipe, or does eating the bread before drinking the cup actually matter?
Oh, it absolutely matters. It's unvarying for two big reasons. First, it directly mirrors Jesus' actions at the Last Supper.
Right.
And second, it reflects the literal structure of the gospel sacrifice. The body was given, and then the blood was shed to establish the new covenant.
Okay.
And what's fascinating here is that the modern world often claims that the essence matters more than the form, like the thought counts more than the physical ritual.
Yeah, we hear that all the time today.
But these sources explicitly argue against that split. They say the strict form of communion is actually the sacred vessel carrying its essence.
Wow. So altering the sequence is basically short-circuiting the whole ritual. If the physical sequence is permanently glued to the spiritual reality, then going through the motions with a disconnected heart just breaks the theological circuit.
Yeah, and a short circuit here has severe consequences. When Paul warns that participating in an unworthy manner brings actual judgment, he isn't speaking metaphorically.
Wait, really? Like actual physical weakness, illness, and even death?
Yes, literally. The underlying mechanism is divine discipline. Because in the theology of these texts, the Lord's Supper is a direct, active encounter with the divine presence.
So treating a spotless sacrifice is just like a casual snack profanes the holy.
Exactly. It brings a corrective shock to the system of a church that was treating sacred realities with dangerous flippancy.
It's almost like stepping into a sterile operating room. You can't just wipe your shoes on the mat, You have to be completely decontaminated, otherwise you bring in a pathogen. So what does this all mean? How do we properly examine ourselves to avoid this?
Well, self-examination isn't merely washing your hands before a meal. It requires taking a really deep spiritual inventory. You have to repent of known sins, sure, but also actively uncover unrecognized sins.
So you have to confront your own impurities before handling the core of the Christian faith.
Right. You have to approach the table with deep reverence for a spotless sacrifice.
I have to be honest, though. Some of Paul's instructions for this feel incredibly ungracious for a church. He gives this very blunt instruction. If anyone is hungry, let him eat at home.
Yeah, it sounds harsh, but we have to look at the historical abuses in Corinth. This wasn't about rationing crackers at all.
Oh, so what was actually happening?
The wealthy members were arriving early, eating all the food and getting drunk. And this was before the working class members could even show up.
Oh, wow. So by telling the hungry to eat at home, Paul is basically shutting down a class-based buffet. He's stopping them from humiliating the poor.
Exactly. Communion is not a casual meal to satisfy physical hunger. It demands that participants actually wait for one another.
So discerning the body isn't just about recognizing Christ's physical body. It's about recognizing the church body sitting right next to you.
You hit the nail on the head. You cannot honor the sacrifice of Christ while actively ignoring or shaming the community that sacrifice created.
It forces the gathering to be a place of shared grace, rather than a venue for societal division. That makes a lot of sense.
It really does. The ritual demands that people pause, wait, and forgive each other.
So the main takeaway for you listening is that the Lord's Supper does not repeat salvation. It's a joyful, holy remembrance that demands a purified heart and deep community awareness.
Yeah, it's a heavy but beautiful responsibility.
It really is. So we want to leave you with a final thought to ponder. If we are asked to uncover our hidden sins and examine our patience with others just to participate in this brief ordinance, how might our daily lives change if we applied that exact same rigorous self-examination before interacting with our communities every single day?